An overhaul of the United States Constitution that's coming from the same people who say that patriots down in Georgia who dare to extend the certification process when it comes to election results, that those people are anti-democratic, that those people hate the United States, but it's okay to go on primetime MSNBC and say that we need to effectively put the Constitution through a paper shredder. Now, we know that they've been wanting to do that forever, right? That's not any major conspiracy, though I use that word intentionally. But it's the timing that matters. We know the media works in lies of omission. And for them to be now upping their assault on the United States Constitution, we know they deal in projection, while simultaneously saying that we are burning democracy to the ground. We're using a torch and quite literally setting this country ablaze because we actually want to demand election integrity. I mean, that is some next level psychological warfare that they're waging on us. And to this point of timing, now there was a very important article that they put up over the Labor Day weekend in Politico. Now, I tweeted it out, but I haven't been back on air since, and I wanted to give it its due time because it dovetails quite nicely with the story we see coming out of DOJ, of State Department today about Russian election interference. Now, this is not the War Room. This is not Gateway Pundit. This is not Real America's Voice. This is Politico. Hacking blind spot. States struggle to vet coders of election software. Let's read the tagline. In New Hampshire, a cybersecurity firm found troubling security bugs in the Ukrainian national anthem written into a voter database built with the help of an overseas subcontractor. Now, if I'm not mistaken, many of you guys in this audience, this show, people who've hosted this show, have not just been censored and blacklisted, but in some cases thrown in prison for daring to say stuff like this, such as our elections are not safe. That is the same talking points that Democrats have used since 2016. But now it's okay that the mainstream media says it. So it's not actually that I'm leaning in or embracing their narrative. The question is, why now? And when you see that story come out in conjunction with just now the Biden regime saying that Russia is coming to hack our election results, not only does that, of course, prove that they're in collusion, but it makes you wonder what they have planned for Election Day. And if you read this story, I'll paraphrase it, but this is the quote. Politico found during a 6-month-long investigation there is little oversight of the supply chain that produces crucial election software. Hackers could manipulate a state's voter list, adding fictitious people to the rolls, changing real voters' information, or directing voters to the wrong polling places on Election Day. That might have only a modest or indirect result on the vote. Now, don't mind me, Politico, if I don't really take you at your word, because I'm pretty sure you were the same news outlet that hyped the words of those 51 intel officers that told me that Hunter Biden's hard drive was Russian disinformation. So when you guys sit back and tell me not to get upset or concerned about the fact that the Ukrainian national anthem, as well as overseas subcontractors using open source code, are backing our election software, I don't think I'm gonna take your word for it that they're not gonna be able to manipulate the results of our election. And the best part of this piece, they don't really even focus on what I would argue, not just the buried lead, but the blazing lead should be, which is that foreign nationals are hacking our election software. And I can tell you the dude who put the Ukraine national anthem in there, he didn't just stop at that. These people know what a Trump victory means for Ukraine. But these very same people, the whole article, the number one point they make is, we don't want to give any fodder to conspiracy theorists. Oh, nothing's going to happen. It's not actually going to impact the results of the election. Well, I call misinformation on that, Politico, and I use that word in its truest and most definitional sense because that's absolute BS. And the fact that you're seeing this story compounding with this Russian foreign election interference narrative, they're back to their same playbook, their same tricks, and if we learned anything from 2020, that does not bode well. We need to get very serious about the threat we're up against. We'll be back after this break.